I've been experiencing that another layer of resistance to darkness is falling away, or has fallen away. And there's a lot more of this genuine embracing of darkness, density, whatever. And it's really nice. It's really helpful to have this kind of openness to these feelings, to these inner states. I'm realizing it's not the darkness and the density that causes suffering. It's our resistance to it. That's it. It's just our resistance to what is, to those inner states, to those feelings. And we can hear that a million times, but until you actually have that direct experience, like, oh, now that resistance has dropped to being with darkness, it no longer bothers me. Like, until you have that experience in your body, it's hard to just believe it, conceptually. But yeah, I'm just feeling a deep love for darkness, realizing I'm so in love with darkness because it's half of everything. It's one way to look at it. Everything's darkness and light, without one, how would you have the other? I don't know if that's true, but there is just this sense that there's like an appreciation for darkness, for density, for being on Earth. And I think if we don't have an appreciation for darkness or density, it's really hard to be on Earth. And we're going to suffer. If we're just chasing light, we're going to suffer a lot here in this realm. Now, if we turn towards darkness and embrace it, we're going to probably feel much more stable here, much more rooted, much more safe. Darkness is a beautiful thing. It really is beautiful. When it's actually experienced without layers of judgment or resistance, it's just beautiful. It's deep. It's transformative. There's an awe about it. Like, wow, darkness. There's at a certain, what I'm experiencing is there's nothing that wants to move away from it anymore. And the divine's really, really clever. So it might bring something soon that I want to move away from again. That's what it does. That's how it breaks down the parts of us that are in resistance. It keeps showing us where we're in resistance to life, where we're in resistance to aspects of this reality. And as long as we're in resistance to aspects of this reality, then we're going to suffer a lot. But when we genuinely fall in love with darkness, fall in love with density, fall in love with Earth, fall in love with being a human, it radically transforms your experience. It's a much freer way to be. Decisions, there's less confusion, there's less seeking anything, because you start to feel wholeness too, because you're not resisting darkness out here, you're not resisting your own darkness either. And therefore, like those repressed feelings in you, the darker tinted repressed feelings can come up and integrate, and you feel whole, so there's nowhere to try to go. There's nowhere you're trying to get to. You're just here. And there's a feeling of not needing much, I think that's why we feel such deep need a lot, and why we feel like we need something, is where we're cut off from a part of ourself, like half of ourself. So yeah, it's a miracle. It's a miracle that God takes us into these states of deep torment and suffering and brutality, because it's going through those states for however long it takes that eventually dissolves the resistance to certain feelings, inner states, etc. It's like you got to walk through hell, the fire of hell, to be free here on Earth. It feels to me. And the more we try to avoid that walk, the more suffering we create. But if we just turn towards that path of fiery hell, and we just let it consume us. That's what it does. It just consumes the part of us that has preference, the part of us that wants certain inner states and doesn't want other states, the parts of us that wants just love and light and doesn't want to feel darkness and density. And that part is confused. It doesn't even realize that what it really, really, really fucking wants is in the middle of the darkness. That the realest love you can find is in the middle of darkness. That the brightest light you can possibly experience is in the depths of your own darkness. That's where you go for what you really want. And so, yeah, that's what's happening over here. It's really nice. It's like a deep peace too. It's like an undisturbable peace and solidity and steadiness. It's like nothing, it doesn't mind anything. I guess you could say there's a happiness, but it's not superficial at all. It's not dependent on an outcome or someone liking you or something like that. It just is. It's simple. It's like deep in the belly. And there's nothing more. There's nothing more needed. There's nothing. It's like, yeah, you'll live in a flow of like, maybe you have a mission or something, or maybe you have some type of purpose here. You're open to that. Of course. Because you're open to everything. That's the other thing. It's just an openness. I don't know. I think this video's gone on long enough. I love you guys. Hope you're doing well.